Hello, welcome to Local Edition. I'm Leslie Leyton. Well, congratulations, you bought a new house. Well, here is a friendly reminder not to ignore any of that paperwork. A friendly reminder from the Orange County Assessor. Claude Parrish is here now to tell us about some of the forms and how you've helped to clarify for some of the change of ownership, the new buyers, what they need to pay attention to as they go through the process. Welcome.
Well, thank you. I would be delighted to. You know, I was just sworn in on the 5th of January in 2015, and one of the things I was most interested in is to relieve the stress and problems that my mother had years ago. So one of the things that a lot of people are unaware of, if you're a new buyer of a home, and many people have never encountered this problem, but unfortunately some people do, your escrow company should prepare the form that's called a preliminary change of ownership form. It looks like this, and there's actually a form. This accompanies the form. So what people will do is the escrow company should provide this and fill this out for you, and then you will sign it. But many, or let's just say some escrow companies drop the ball. So you get one of these warning letters. The state requires the assessor of each county to send this warning letter.
So you're saying pay attention.
Yeah, pay attention. We didn't get it's called a PCOR form, preliminary change of ownership form, and we haven't got it. And I'm forced to send this out according to state law. And so when I was first addressing this, I said, boy, there's a lot of people getting all these penalties, and the penalties are severe. If you don't fill the form out, there's a 10% of the tax, it's a penalty, and on top of it, it can go up to $5,000 depending on the size of the house.
That's a lot for a penalty.
So I thought, you know why people aren't paying attention to this? Because I'd take calls from everybody, and so I would hear, I just got this form in the mail, and I call my broker, and he says not to worry about it, the escrow company did it. And others would say, yeah, I called the escrow company, they said it's done. Well, they dropped the ball. Somehow
we do hear that a lot. So how do we know which paperwork to pay attention to when we get it personally and which
That's
not?
right.
And what have you done to
You get a
clarify?
letter like this and your head spins because so much reading on it. And the original ones were all white, black and white. Mm-hmm. So I used to be on the State Board of Equalization. So I called the Board of Equalization up. I says, I want to highlight this. I want to make it bold. I want to change the copy. I want to say warning. Mr. Parrish, you can't change this form, as you know. This is what the State Board of Equalization creates, and you cannot make any changes. You just have to send it out unchanged. You can put the name of the taxpayer, and that's it. I says, well, I thought, what can I do? I said, how about can I put a color? Can I change the color on the paper? They said, you can do that. So I said, okay. I didn't give up. In fact, it took me a day to think about this. So what I thought I would do, you get 3 of these. So the first one, it's kind of faint. I highlighted the warning about the penalty in green. So your eye is, oh, why is this highlighted? So people will read it rather than just throw it in the trash or not pay much attention to it. That's the first letter. Then you get a second letter, and the second letter I was able to highlight in yellow. It's like the traffic light. A, green, now it's yellow. And so it really stands out on yellow. And so people, then they call up, they start looking at it seriously. And most of the people, by the time they get the yellow one, they have found out, hey, they call up, they say, I say, you need to fill these out. And it doesn't cost anything to fill it out. But some people, they still ignore it for whatever reason. And I have the last one with red color. Then that's like serious. And this says you already have a penalty, but you have only so many days to have the penalty removed by compliance. So we eliminated it way down to just a very few people, but I thought I would like to have every single taxpayer. So I decided, I created a taxpayer advocate, and she's busy. I said, I want you to get the telephone number and have to find out these people, because these are the new purchasers of the home, and you should be able to get their telephone number or contact or email. So she would call them up, and this year we only had 2 penalties that we couldn't find them. So that's great. I like to eliminate stress and penalties and help people. It's like a landmine. You don't even know it's there. So
there's so much paperwork when you buy a house. You just sign the paperwork and say, I hope this is the right thing.
So it's nice,
one of the other things you've done, a little more convenient, you've added the capability to pay with a credit card, some of the fees.
Yes. Now my good friend Sherry Friedrich, the treasurer, she allows you to pay your tax bill with a credit card. I'm not the treasurer. I'm the assessor. And
so you don't collect the money, you say how much you owe.
No. I just say how much I assess the money. Mm-hmm. However, we do have public offices, which is another thing that leads into something else. When I was elected, there was only one assessor's office, and I created a South County office, and I pledged to do it rent-free with existing equipment, with an existing employee that lived in the area, and I've done that. It took me a year to do it, but I found free rent. Anyhow, the cost on the credit card is, I thought that's nice, but I don't like a convenience fee. Why? You know, I was in private business. I had some retail establishments, and I never charged my customers $2 or $3 or $4 convenience fee. It's bad for business. So I thought, I'm free enterprise minded. So I decided up to $500 if you buy stuff from the assessor's office, and we sell maps and documentation and maps of how your property sits. Everybody that's going to do some construction, their contractor or them has to go to the assessor's office and get the plot maps and where it lines and all sorts of things. And we sell them. We sell about about $300,000 worth of stuff. Information, you want to reproduce something about your property line, whatnot, or when did you buy the property, or is your mortgage off, or whatever. So we have all the records. So there's no convenience charge, and I think we only have about 5 customers in the county that are over $500. So I said, if it's $500 or less, no charge. I mean, why not?
Okay, and so you're making it easier to do business. A lot of, the county is growing and growing, a lot of construction in the South County, so now you don't have to make the trek to
Mission Viejo. It's quite a drive, and you take in the bad traffic, and then you drive in. Let's say you're in San Juan Capistrano or Mission Viejo, and you drive in, and first of all, most people are confused. They go to Sherry Friedrich because she's the one that sends them the bill, so they have a problem with their assessed value or whatever. And she says, oh, I'm sorry, we don't handle that. That's the assessor's office. And then they would get there and it'd be closed because it used to close before 5 o'clock. And so I came in and I had a nice talk, and we staggered the employees. So now we're open till exactly 5 o'clock, so that you don't drive in and find out it's closed. Because by the time you get there, and then you go to Sherry, and you get to my office, which is in the same building, that would be very exasperating.
Another change is the $30 minimum tax bill.
Oh, that took a long time. That took a long time to get that done. You know, there's a state law that says that the counties, if they so desire, they don't have to create a tax bill if it costs them more to produce the tax bill than the amount of the bill. So
like when you get a check for 5 cents?
Yeah, this costs a lot. It probably costs them $2 or $3 to prepare the check, or worse. So I'm new. I was new. I think it was March or something, and I'm sitting with my good friend Eric Willery, my good friend Sherry Friedrich, and the clerk of the board, and I'm sitting there, and I said, I've been doing a little research about Orange County here, and our minimum tax bill is now $20. Anything under that is forgiven because it costs, it costs too much to produce it. I said, but that was 1984. That's 31 years from 2015. I said, why hasn't anybody moved it up? Because 31 years costs have gone up. Well, I'm going to take the cost of living from 1984 and bring it forward $20 from from 1984 to 2015. Takes $20
Thank you so much for sharing. I'm sorry we're running out of time, but Orange County Assessor Claude Parrish, thank you very much for being here.
Delighted to be here.
And thank you for joining us as well. I'm Leslie Leyton.